What's up YouTube, your old school expert, and today I'm going to be showing you my top 10 favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards of all time. So I'm making this video because I've always wanted to do it. I do have a top 10. It's really hard to pick just 10. So I did 10 and then I did a few honorable mentions, which all could make the list, but I didn't want to make the list too big because then it's not as significant. So I used a few different things to evaluate the cards. The biggest thing is the artwork. Not so much playability. I didn't really take that into account because this is more based on the card itself, not what it does. So I did artwork, rarity, and like lore, if it says anything about the card, stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get this started. And I encourage you guys to either put your top 10 in a list in the comments, or even better, make your own video so I can check out your top 10. So number 10 for me is Invasion of Chaos, Dark Magician of Chaos. Now, of course, Dark Revelation is also an ultra rare, but this is the original one. If the reprint is the same rarity and everything, I'll just go with the original. So I just think the artwork's super cool. He's like in motion, like he's running, and he's got his huge staff, and he just looks like he's gonna bust out some powerful spell. So he looks really cool. So that is number 10 on my list. Number 9 is a bit random, but it is Harpie Lady Sisters. Now this card is it's just very nostalgic to me. That was another huge factor. All these cards are very nostalgic. This one's from Metal Raiders, and I believe is the only one in super rare. And it's just really cool. I remember pulling it back when Metal Raiders came out, and I just really enjoyed it. I was like, oh, 1950 attack, that's really strong. 2100 defense, great defense, this and that. And I just thought it was a great card. So Harpie Lady Sisters is number 9. Number 8 is Jonah Elf from Labyrinth of Nightmare. It would have been great if they didn't censor it and they kept it just like the OCG. But I really like this card a lot. I just think it's cool. Those elves look pretty badass, even though they're spellcasters. And it was the first, of course, it was the first 4-star 1900 attack monster with no effect. So there's a lot of nostalgia behind this card. It was pretty badass when it came out. So that's number 8, Gemini Elf. Number 7 is a card a lot of you guys may have really high on your list. Number 7 is Blueeyes White Dragon from Starter Deck Kaiba, and it is very nostalgic for me. I remember when the starter decks came out, just I think like 2 weeks after Legend of Blue Eyes set came out, and I was like, wow, so you can only pay $10 and get a deck with this Blueeyes, as opposed to trying to get a Blueeyes out of the pack, which was extremely hard. And I was like, there's no way you're allowed to even use this in a duel because it's so easy to get. And my friend was like, no, you can use any cards from the starter deck in a real duel. And so I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So this card is just very nostalgic. It's a childhood card. It's from the anime. This is the artwork from the anime. So very cool card. That is number 7, SDK Blueeyes. Number 6, something Pokemon I would be proud of. This is Injection Fairy Lily from Legacy of Darkness. Now this card, when it came out, it was pretty phenomenal because it was the first way to really get like a huge beat stick on the field without tributing. So of course you had to use your normal summon, and you had to pay 2,000 life points, but it would pump it up to 3,400 attack, which was great for a one-turn kill, or just getting over a big beat stick that's on the field if your opponent ritual summoned the mass beast or managed to get out Blueeyes or something like that. This would run right over that kind of stuff. And I also thought the little hearts in the background were really cool. I actually like this one better than the OCG, which has like little plus signs like hospital. So I think this one's actually cooler than the OCG one. And I'm glad they didn't shorten her skirt there. I'm kind of surprised they didn't, or lengthen her skirt to like pants or something. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that. So that is number 6, Injection Fairy Lily. Number 5 is Solemn Judgement from Metal Raiders. This card, didn't use it too much back in the day. Like I said, people kind of thought, wow, half your life points, that's not really worth it. And maybe it wasn't, maybe it was. It just wasn't used too much when it came out. I mean, some people ran it, the smart people ran it, But most of us were just like, no, that's too much. They'd rather use a magic jammer to stop a magic card, or 7 tools of the bandit to stop a trap, or I guess Horn of Heaven to stop a monster. This could stop any of those, but it was a hefty cost. And what I really like about this card is the artwork. I just think it's very cool. It's very solemn, like the name. And this started the whole Solemn series, which there are now like, I don't know, 5 or 6 cards with Solemn in their name. So it's a very cool and still nostalgic card for me. So number 4 is Dark Magician from LOB. I know a lot of you guys prefer the Dark Magician from SDY, Starter Deck Yugi. I prefer this one only because I actually pulled this from a pack. Not this one in particular, but this was the first foil I ever got out of LOB. It was like my 2nd or 3rd LOB pack that I had purchased, and I bought them 1 pack at a time because I just didn't have a lot of money. And I went to like a comics and stuff, and just bought 1 pack, and I pulled this, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And my friend was like, oh man, that's the Dark Magician, that's, you know, this and that. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really know anything about it, but it kind of grew on me. I think he looks kind of badass, like he's just sitting there like, you know, come get some. So I don't know. I mean, the lore is cool. He's the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. That's kind of sweet. So it wasn't ever really great for dueling, but it was decent and just really cool from the anime. So that's number 4, Dark Magician. Now we're getting into the top 3. Number 3 may come as a surprise to some of you is Summon Skull from Metal Raiders. Now, I really don't care for the common version. I mean, he does look cool as a common too. I mean, his artwork is just amazing. But I think just having that little bit of holofoil in the background, it's very subtle, but I think that makes it look more cool because it's not just like all over the place like a secret rare. It's just like, wow, it's sparkly stuff everywhere. And this just looks really, really sweet. I also like how the ultra rare, the gold on vanilla looks, I don't know, to me it just looks really cool. So Summon Skull, this was such a useful card back then. This is what almost everybody ran as a beat stick because it was just 1 tribute for a 2500 attack monster. Very easy to use, very easy to summon, and was a real beat stick back in the early days of the game. So now we are moving on to number 2, which is Blueeyes White Dragon from LOB. Again, I know a lot of you probably prefer the SDK artwork. I prefer this one because this is more nostalgic to me. I always saw this as the more difficult Blueeyes to obtain. Obviously, you could pay back then $10 for a starter deck Kaiba and just get Blueeyes out of it. You know, you're guaranteed one. Whereas this was an ultra rare. There's usually only 2 ultra rares per box, and there's 10 total ultra rares. So your chance of getting this is about 1 in 10 boxes. So it's really rare. And I just think it looks, I like the artwork better. I prefer it. I think it just looks really nice. He's actually flying. He's not just standing there like in the other one. And it just looks pretty vicious. And of course the lore is just incredible. Of course it's the same for all Blueeyes White Dragons that I know of. And you know, this this legendary dragon is a powerful engine of destruction, virtually invincible. Very few have faced this awesome creature and lived to tell the tale. That is a really cool lore, in my opinion. Very sweet. So there is Blueeyes White Dragon from LOB. So now we're going to move on to the honorable mentions before we go to number 1. So honorable mention, we got 5 of them. We got Ultimate Rare Solemn Warnings, the only ultimate in this top 10. This is just a really sweet card. It looks great in Ultimate Rare. It's just an amazing artwork, and it's a great card overall. I think that's why it's restricted to 1 right now. Trihorn Dragon, equally nostalgic to most of these LOB cards. I pulled this one time. I got 3 packs, just 3 random packs out of 1 box. I got a Trihorn, a Red Eyes, and a Raigeki. And ever since then, I've really liked Trihorn because my friend and I didn't know why he looked different than the other foils. You know, with the secret rare like sparkliness and stuff. So my friend was like, "Oh, that's called a diamond rare." So that's what we thought it was. We thought it was called diamond rare, and we thought ultras were called gold rares. Again, this is like before like the internet was a big thing. So then we got Mirror Force from Metal Raiders. Just a really sweet, very nostalgic card. Was used and it's still used today in a lot of decks. And back in these days, it was one per deck because it was such a good card. So there's honorable mention Mirror Force. Another Metal Raiders card honorable mention is Time Wizard. I won one of the most incredible duels of my entire life with this card, and it secured me second place, at least second place. I ended up losing in the finals, but it secured me second place in a tournament of about 250 people. It was a huge tournament. So this card really came in clutch. It was actually the winning duel. It was round 3 or game 3, sorry, and it was like this was single elimination tournament. It was like round 12. Like it took forever. It was like a 5-hour tournament, and I was able to. My opponent had like 200 life points left, and he had a messenger piece out, and I couldn't attack with anything else, and he had a relinquished out with one of my monsters. So I summoned this, flipped it, called it right, and attacked directly for 500 to end the game. It was amazing. Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End from Invasion of Chaos, the Secret Rare version, is my last honorable mention. Really cool card. Was a lot of fun blowing up, searching for Yada, you know, attacking for game. So good times. Yeah, basically this has Yada lock written all over it. So not anymore because Yada, Sangan, and Witch of the Black Forest are all banned, but still a really sweet card. So number 1 in my countdown is, as many of you have probably guessed, Red Eyes Black Dragon, or Red Eyes B Dragon, from Legend of Blueeyes. This card to me is just incredibly nostalgic, and just look at that artwork. I mean, that artwork is vicious. That thing looks bad. Like, I would not want to mess with that dragon. His stats are kind of weak, and that always kind of bothered me because I thought it was kind of unfair that he was so much weaker than Blueeyes. But at the same time, his lore is short and sweet, a ferocious dragon with deadly attack. And this card was the most interesting looking card to me in the whole Legend of Blueeyes set. So it quickly became my favorite once I pulled it. And that's pretty much it. This is my favorite card of all time that probably won't ever change. So I hope you guys enjoyed that quick top 10. I encourage you all to make your own top 10, preferably a video if you can. And if you don't have the card, just do like a digital, edit it with a digital copy of the card. That would be sufficient enough, I think. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's random. It's a lot of old school stuff, but that's no surprise. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope it was nostalgic seeing a lot of these old school cards. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and comment and make your own list because I want to see it. So thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh videos.